Well, folks, a while back I made a couple of shorts showing off the Game Boy and Game Boy Color games in my collection, and today I thought we would rank them. Now, folks, much like the video where I ranked my Nintendo 64 games, this is just a ranking of the games I currently have in my collection of Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Not the top games of all time, not the top games that I've played, not even games that I have previously owned, just the ones that I currently have. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number 11, Pocket Bomberman. This one was pretty easy to put on the bottom of the list. It's just not a good game. It's very amateurish. I guess it's maybe aimed at 5-year-olds. It doesn't have the charm of even the old NES Bomberman games. Just, and even on the cover, he's got a sword, and in the opening credits quick scene, he draws a sword, which has nothing to do with Bomberman, and it's not used in the game. If I had to pick one game in my collection on any of my systems to get rid of, this would be an easy first pick. Moving on to the top 10, I at least get some enjoyment out of all of these games. Number 10, Star Wars Episode 1. Racer. Now, I have this one at number 10. The reason I got it so low, one of the highlights of the Star Wars prequel trilogy was Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the N64. Great game, fast-paced, much like F-Zero and F-Zero X. It didn't translate very well to the Game Boy Color. It's okay, and it is pretty fast-paced for the system that it's on, but, if you do have a hard time winning a certain race, you could race it 3 or 4 times and memorize the track and have no problem beating it whatsoever. So, it's okay to pop in and kill some time, but, it's at the bottom of my list of the games that I currently have. Number 9, Pokemon Pinball. So, Pokemon Pinball, let me just start off by saying, I love playing pinball machines. I think they're fun. I've always liked them since I was a kid. That being said, pinball really doesn't translate well to video games. I got this one ahead of the other 2 games just because, it's fun, but pinball in video games, you press 2 buttons. That's it. A button for, of course, I guess pinball is that way in real life too, but, it's at least fun, interactive, lights up, but really the only pinball video game I've ever played that I really enjoyed and I thought was well done was Sonic Pinball on the Genesis. So, Pokemon Pinball comes in at number 9. Number 8, Frogger. If you like Frogger, like I do, you'll like this game. It's fun, but, I got it lower because it doesn't bring anything new to the table. It's just Frogger ported to the Game Boy. But like I said, it's got all the Frogger features and all the Frogger levels, but like I said, it doesn't really offer anything new other than you can take it on the go. But a fun game. Number 7, Super Mario Land. Okay, now we're getting into the games that I really enjoy, and the rankings start to get a little tough. We're starting to get a little tougher for me. Some of the rankings are just kind of in the mood I'm in today while I'm filming this. Start off with Super Mario Land at number 7 of the games I really enjoy, and the reason I got it as low as I do is, look, the graphics have not held up very well. It's a fun side-scrolling platformer. Very similar to all Mario games of its time, but the graphics have just not held up. They did not take full advantage of the Game Boy's capabilities, like maybe its sequel, spoiler alert. But still a fun game. If you're a Mario fan, you'll definitely enjoy it. So, moving on. Number 6, Wario Land 2. Coming in at number 6, we've got a game featuring everybody's favorite anti-hero in the Mario series, Wario Land 2. Fun game. Changes it up from the regular Mario formula where you got some punching moves and you can get flattened. And it's got a good humor to it. Really enjoyable game. Really excellent graphics for its time. Came out on the Game Boy Color, but again, great film, great game. Excuse me. Whew, getting kind of sweaty in here. I'm filming this outside on a muggy day. Anyway, so they're moving on to our top 5. Number 5, Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. took everything great about a Mario game, especially Super Mario Land, and made it better. It improved on the graphics of its predecessor immensely. Gameplay is still great. I it's just a great Mario game, especially considering it took the Game Boy's systems to the limits. A lot of fun, as well as it introduced the Wario character to us, as he was the main villain. Highly recommended if you've never played it.
Number 4, Pokemon Yellow.
At number 4, we have the third release of Generation 1 Pokemon, Pokemon Yellow. I had Red at one time. Unfortunately, it was borrowed and never returned. But Pokemon Yellow is fine. In fact, sometimes it can be a little more fun because you can get all 3 starter Pokemon from the first 2 games and don't have to trade if you don't have access or friends or a trade cable anymore. But when Pokemon came out, I mean, it was incredible what they fit onto that little game and that little system. Still a fun game to play, still holds up very well. Highly recommended if you haven't played the old school Pokemon games and you're younger and have only played some of the newer ones.
Now, before we get into the top 3, I thought I would talk about these for a little bit.
Now, I choose to play on the Game Boy Advance, even though I don't have really much Game Boy Advance games. I just like the wider screen. I had an SP at one time, but it quit working. I think it quit taking a charge. And since I've made these shorts, I've also ordered the old Donkey Kong Land trilogy. There's the second one to show you. The other 2 are in my closet at the moment. But anyway, so I don't have them ranked. I haven't really had a chance. In fact, I've only ever played this one. It came in the mail first off eBay, and I haven't played 1 and 3 at all. So that is why I'm not ranking them. So far the few levels I've played of this has been very enjoyable. But since I didn't have it when I made the video, the shorts showing the games off, I'm not ranking them. Anyway, with that being said, let's move on to my top 3.
Number 3, Tetris.
Now, ranking my top 5 was pretty tough. Ranking my top 3 was really tough. This is just kind of like I said, it's kind of going off my mood today. I got Tetris at number 3. Tetris is addicting. It's fun. It's got catchy music. And I had it ranked, the new Tetris for the N64, I had ranked pretty low on my list. And I said I liked it on a Game Boy better just because, you can just sit there and mess around, play it. Well, kills the time while maybe you're waiting for your favorite college football team to come on TV while you're maybe watching another game. And, all in all, it's just a fun puzzle game and very addicting. Moving on.
Number 2, Pokemon Silver.
At number 2, Pokemon Silver. To me, Pokemon peaked at Generation 2. And I kind of quit playing after Generation 3. I'll admit, the Pokemon just kind of got stupid after that. They just would take an everyday item like a fridge and put eyes in a mouth and call it Refrigerator Ton or whatever. But, I mean, Pokemon Gen 2, Gold and Silver, they took everything that was good and great about the first generation and improved on it and made it awesome. I mean, the day-night feature, the new evolutions of the new Pokemon were incredible. You had 2 regions to explore, which was kind of a nice surprise. You beat the first part of the game, and you can go back to the old part from the first game and play that again. That was a lot of fun. There's days where I will take Gen 1 for nostalgia purposes, but when I made this list, I didn't get to think about it and playing a little bit. Gen 2 was incredible. It was great.
Number 1, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening DX.
Well, if you've seen any of my shorts or the ranking of any other of my retro gaming collections, I like Zelda. And Zelda Link's Awakening, when it was released for the Game Boy in the 90s, took the system to its limits like no game ever had before, and really, other than Pokemon, has since. Incredible game, incredible world, and it changed from, the normal Link has to save the damsel in distress. It was the first Zelda to really offer a completely different storyline, which was great. And then when they released the deluxe version DX on the Game Boy Color a few years later, wow, was it incredible. The color palette was something we'd never seen, didn't know if it was possible on a handheld system at the time, but a great game, fun game to play. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know how you would rank these games or what games you think I need to add to my collection in the comments below. Like this video, tell all your friends about it, subscribe to the channel if you feel like it, and have a wonderful day. And Chaos in Southwest Nebraska, over and out.